Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to some people. How is everyone doing? Good morning, Davey. Happy Thursday, Connor. Thank you for being here. Anissa, good morning. George, hello. Hello, everybody hiding in the background. You can type in comments too. So, again, hope everyone is having a fantastic day so far. We had some numbers come out just 35 minutes ago. Well, actually, 34 minutes ago. And we will take a look at that in 1 minute. We also had some of those bigger double bottom patterns trigger during the European session and then pull back. So we will take a look at that. By the way, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting the like button. Longer term subscribers, again, thank you for the ones who put in the comments, who take that 30 seconds. That's all it takes to keep the channel growing and keep the channel free for everyone. Don't make me take it private. Don't make me do that. Okay. Peloton, yep, Peloton. Did anybody look at Dollar Tree and Dollar General? Both big gaps down, big misses. I know you know what? Some of the best trades are just in stocks that people don't like because they're not memeish or sexy. But some of the best tradings in those stocks. So, hey, John Rich says Peloton was a gift. Good morning, John. All right, let's get right down to it. Guess we go up today. Well, we got daily cycles at the bottom. We've triggered some bottoming patterns. We got Jackson Hole and PCE tomorrow. Major numbers are out of the way today. Let's just take a look at that. So GDP growth rate, the second estimate, then this is reverse looking because it's still back at Q2, revised again slightly higher, negative 0.6, so still negative. And remember, we get the final numbers coming out on the next revision. I don't know if it'll be enough to take it positive, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Good morning, option 22. Funding is secured. Funding, no, actually, this is a donation model, and funding's not secured. That's why I could go private. But good take there, George. Good take. Continuing jobless claims coming in better than expected. Remember, our magic number is 1456K for a recession confirmation number, and a nice little pullback from the forecast and the revised numbers. So that is better. So still no confirmed recession indicator for us. Yes, we still have that potential negative quarter-over-quarter GDP growth, but that's not the one I'm using because you can technically get a recession without that. And you can have that happen, I think, without a recession. We'll see. GDP price index coming in a little higher. Again, reverse looking. Initial jobless claims coming in better. So the job market is still strong. We had the Fed's George speaking this morning. Still lots of data to come out, but they could keep the Fed funds rate over 4% for an extended period of time. They're still deciding on that 50 to 75 basis point hike. With yada, 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 sort of trying, again, to talk down the market. By the way, if you're trading nat gas, at 9:30 Central, you got the EI nat gas stocks change, so pay attention to that for nat gas traders. I'm still watching the Kansas City Fed numbers, manufacturing and composite, seeing if this stays in expansion and how much, or if it dips into contraction like some other ones. But that's going to be very minor to the market. I am paying attention. And we got more Jackson Hole. So, pretty NVIDIA still down after their guidance cut yesterday. CRM Salesforce down big. Other than that, you got a lot of red. Besides, I talked about a Dollar General and Dollar Tree. There is a potential bigger double that could trigger also. So for those double traders, pay attention to that. But are these going to tank the market? No. FOMC 60-40 still for the 75 basis point cut. We're edging up neutral gamma again, roughly 4,200. So pay attention to that, because if we rally over the next day or so above 4,200, the dealers will flip into selling into rallies. So please keep that in mind. This morning we had Peloton. I know there was a gap down in that, and love the product, hate the stock. Horribly mismanaged. Boy, they had a gift given to them with the pandemic, and they butchered that. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, both misses. And gaps lower after the market today. I'm going to check in on a firm for a consumer basis. Of course, Ulta Beauty, where I buy all my hair care products. And that's all I'm looking at. And tomorrow is nothing, but tomorrow we got the major stuff coming out. Jackson Hole again, and the PCE numbers, very important. Let's see let's see. Fed's changed the definition of recession. Not really. That's been changed for a while. And it's based off the committee, remember. And it's going to be like, and the people vote. See, there is no definition. The definition is when the committee decides. So guess what? There's no way any of us can say, hey, we have the numbers that have said. We can look at the market data and do our own analysis and do stuff like, but you know what they can say, even if, you know what, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And I think they do that on purpose, because if they gave an exact definition, people could track it and then say, make the call themselves. This way, you never know what they're going to decide. And it's politically relevant for them to have it that way. Good morning, Rams of Fall. Options 22. Question. Price action will determine, but in your opinion, which is a better play? Puts on NVIDIA or Tesla? Okay, if Tesla triggers the double top, that's potential, then that's the play. Other than that, you know, because Tesla is so friggin' manipulated, and you have the hardcore Tesla people. I mean, you could literally have Tesla say, we're going to declare bankruptcy, and people would just literally run to buy the stock, the fans. So Tesla's a harder short. NVIDIA with SMH might trigger the double. SMH is already still in the weekly double pattern. If I had to say on more longer term plays, I'd be looking not only at NVIDIA, but some other semiconductor stocks for put plays. Okay? If Tesla does trigger that double, it would be a short-term put play. At some point, we'll get a long-term put play again in Tesla again. Mike, we already got 35% pullback. Do you think we go more short-term, longer-term? 35% pullback in what? I'm missing the question, Sashi. Good morning, Josh. Oh, Rich got the hair joke. Amadeus, good morning, Elon fanboys. Hello, Lauren. You know, and this is that's why I also do the sector overview. Why? Because what do I like to short? What are the best shorts? Weak stocks in weak sectors. What are the worst shorts? Strong stocks in strong sectors. Now, SMH. Weak, it's already a long-term sell and might trigger a more medium-term sell. And you have companies like NVIDIA guiding lower. You're going to have other chip makers guide also. So that's what I like. You know, that's also why it's so tough to short these meme crap stocks. Like BBBY is either going to get so screwed, it's going to be a incredibly cheap, like a $2 takeover target for somebody who wants something with an inventory thing, if they're willing to do it, or they're going to do bankruptcy or some reorganization. Now, is that an easy short? No, because you got this inane meme stock crap about it. they're going to go into this kind of financing. They're going to go into inventory, take loans against their inventory, blah, 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 blah. And people think that's bullish. Ugh. Again, NASDAQ, I think we're going to tip over and test new lows this year and then continue lower next year. Short term, I still don't have a massive topping pattern just yet. So patient short term, and actually very short term, we got daily cycles at the bottom. So you see daily cycles at the bottom attempting to turn up. We have this little double trigger that I talked about yesterday, and even this rotation does not invalidate it. Hit the first level and that key level, and look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Little mini double top pullback off that. So the bullish play off the open for me is still to retarget 4183, 4194, 4205. Sitting against key support, 4154. 4154. Now, you do have roughly a clear path going lower on the 4-hour. There are some key stopping points, but you start breaking below 4154. I'm watching for the pullback. At this point, what would invalidate? Because you got to know where you're not going to be bullish anymore because you have probabilities with this pattern. But you start getting a 1-hour close below 41.3950, bullish pattern off the table. Other than that, have to favor choppy to bullish. Also, you have the daily cycles. So this is why you analyze both sides. So now we have upside probabilities. You have cycles at the bottom. By the way, you get a daily close above the 23rd's high. It's another buy signal. How can that be played intraday? Well, breaks were right there. Breaks above there could be played intraday, and then on a close above that held for the potential move tomorrow. And remember, you have PCEs and you have Jackson Hole, so you have to be prepared for volatility. So you have to take that into account with your trading plan. Can't start getting, again, minorly bearish. You can. I remember I listed that. The key retracement level. Before that, it would just be minor bearish. Below 62.5, this 41.3975. Then I'd get a little more bearish, but once we get below 41.25, getting more bearish. But still, if we got the rollover play, we actually have a head and shoulders top. Be interesting to see if we even push up this double, get an even more solid head and shoulders top. Now that would be a more substantial topping play once it triggers. That's what I'm watching for to get more bearish. All right. So we can always cover that after the close. Make people tune in for another thing. So those are the key levels on there. The NASDAQ, again, no. Double triggered, little mini double, pulling back. Is this another potential little double bottom? Do we have a double, double, double? I don't think so. Nope. No, but here's the levels. We don't have technical stop reduction yet. So the technical levels to invalidate this double are back at 12,896. And you do have a fair amount of support coming in at different levels. Now, we do have that clear path on the 4-hour, but this is where I like to look at the 1-hour. We start breaking below, I'm going roughly about 12,990. We got little stopping points about 12,964, major about 12,933. So this isn't the best clear path move to trade into. Let me give you a quick little instruction. Remember, looking at all clear paths aren't the same. Remember this clear path coming down? When we look at that on the 1-hour, look at this. Minor stopping point, minor stopping point. So you see, not a lot. You got minor stopping points, but it's pretty smooth still. Versus this one, this is why you go down a time frame to help fine tune it. Versus this one, let me take off these harmonics. Going up, technically clear path move, but when you look at this minor stopping point, major stopping point, resist stopping point, stopping point. So you see that that's why that one is a little more difficult to trade down into. Does not mean it can't get acceleration, but you have to be more aggressive lowering stops because it could find support at any of those points. Little teaching moment there. Daily cycles at the bottom. So we could easily still pop. I got a favor to choppy to bullish side this morning with that double getting triggered. Dow, this is the only thing that gives me slight pause, although cycle's still at the bottom. Dow did not trigger a double. Pretty strong rejection pattern. I'm actually watching more so for the Dow to trade into this clear path. But again, look at these key levels. Let me bump this one down. So on a sell 32,926, then you got about 32,857, and then you got 32,792. So the Dow acting the weakest of the bunch. Dow is not the thing I'd turn to for the bullish side. It was what I would first look to the bearish side. Only up 0.05%. So, well, at this point, 6 basis points. So the Dow's where you look to for the shorts. If we break down the the Nasdaq, even though it didn't hit the first target, is actually the strongest out of the gate, followed by the Russell, then the S&P. Russell also hit the first target, so we can do our harmonics on here. Double invalidated 1926.50 on a 1 hour closing basis at least. Key level is 1940 on the breakdown zone, and there's multiple stopping points here. Everybody can do that analysis pretty much. But the Dow, I mean, the Russell still has a pretty decent clear path move back to this key level. So you have this resistance becoming support, so 1931. But I'll be really still focused on a bunch of these to the long side unless we get something that tips it over. DAX, I'm focused on the gap fill into European close unless we get back to 13,266. The DAX actually could not get to that first target. The aggressive stop out is 13,186, but you still got to go with the conservative thing coming in at 13,159 on a closing basis to cancel out that double, so you could easily fill the gap and still have that double in play. Notes, lots of buying pressure down here. Look at this 62.5. Look at this. Look at all that buying pressure right there. Love that level. So I am watching for a potential bounce move here. But no strong bottoming pattern just yet. Crude, I put back on the sloppy double. It is technically correct. It is a lower probability one. We might trigger it today. Was confirmed yesterday. I'm really focused on this 99 target as a pretty significant target. Why? That's the other end of the rotation zone. And even if you run up, does this invalidate this bigger double? Not at all. Actually, the key invalidation point for that bigger weekly double is not till above 113.71. So this could easily come up before another rollover play. That's why these long-term doubles, you have to be very patient with them, and you can trade around a position on the short term. So short term, we were bullish before. We're still bullish, and if this triggers a daily, we'll still remain short term bullish on that. Remember, natty gas numbers come out. It would just be if you break below about 918, a short-term pullback play to about 885. That's about it. The rotation up play is starting to really break above this 940 level. If anybody's trading that. Dollar index. Again, pull back to the daily rotation zone, confirming this double, but not yet triggered. I need at least a 1 hour close below 107.89. And remember, if it comes back up into this area up here, 109 area, it's turned into a triple top, which slightly favors the continuation play, especially with 4-hour cycles coming up. Daily cycles still trying to turn down, and weekly turning up. So yeah, a real mismatch of cycles. So we could be in for some choppy movement, but actually tapping off that daily rotation zone. So there's no strong play for me just yet in the dollar index. VIX up a little, but not enough to reverse the double that triggered yesterday. So I'll be watching first for a gap fill to confirm that slightly choppy to bullish position. If we continue and take out the reversal areas to make this a triple top, then I'll shift to choppy to bearish. Euro confirming this little double bottom here, but not triggered. Need a 1 hour to 4 hour trigger, and you see no 1 hour trigger yet or 4 hour trigger. And why? Because this is a 4 hour pattern. One of the things I've been letting everyone know about is if you got a 4 hour pattern, if you want to get more aggressive, you can trigger on the next time frame lower, which would be the 1 hour. If you have a daily pattern, you can trigger on the 4 hour if you want to be a little more aggressive. An advanced concept I've started to let people know about. Other than that, remember, if we pull back here, if we pull back below the 75%, it turns into a triple. That's 99.30. Let's see, where do we sit? I didn't know that, Rich. Ulta Beauty price target raised at Deutsche Bank. I don't really, with declining PE. Thank you, AMD double top trigger. Let's see if we can peek at that in a sec. Will become one of the big names in the. I don't know about that. Don't really have a comment on that right now. Good. Hey, Christoph, haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for being here. What are my thoughts on Jackson Hole? My thoughts are that I think Powell's going to have to, if he doesn't go with a super bullish stance and reinforce what the Fed governors are saying, he'll still say we're going to be data dependent. We haven't yet decided for the September meeting. But if he doesn't come out with a substantially hawkish tone, if he pulls a Powell that he did in July, then the markets will rip higher in the short term. They might rip anyways because they tend, when he speaks, recently there's been a lot of buying pressure. Bitcoin, not much going on here after hitting that first target. Still, we got that little horizontal breakout and still a channeling corrective pattern. Tesla, slight gap up after filling the gap yesterday. What happened? Oh. What happened to my levels? Oh, they split. Crap. I got to redo all my levels. I forgot that the split was this morning. So we're going to have to redo all the levels. Short term, your resistance is about 314. Let me just get that double on here. Gosh darn, Tesla split. This is why we're still not at. I was talking to people yesterday. They're like, Tesla's such a bargain now because it's going to be trading in the 300s. By the way, the double top now triggers 279.35. I'm like, what about market cap? Because market cap doesn't change. Like, what's market cap? They think that the stock price determines the value of the company. So you just split the stock. The value of the company got cheaper. Oh, I can't take it anymore. We got to get all this crap flushed out of the market. The value of the stock does not determine the market cap of the company. It's the value of the stock times the shares outstanding, and a 3-to-1 split triples the shares outstanding and takes the price down by a factor of 3. The market cap stays the same. And then if you rally it off there, the market cap actually goes up. 262.25, 254.63, 245. What invalidates the double, turning into a triple? You actually have to come off this side. Trade back above 305.84. So I'd just be using the harmonic. Since the gap fill's already full, my targets would be 305.70 and then 310 and then 314 intraday to the bullish side. To the bearish side, I'd be keying off where we couldn't trade below or couldn't close below, which would be the rising 21 about 290, 290.50. Qs. By the way, still pay attention to this for the Q players. Buy. Oops, we're opening. A buy above today's high on a closing basis in the gap fill play. If we do hold up, I'd be watching for the gap fill play. First key level 3.8. This open 318.75, and then the gap fill. Major support coming in at 313.50. If you want to stick around, we'll take a look at a couple things. Spiders resistance, again, since I'm choppy to bullish on that, 417.05, and then the gap fill play. There is the aggressive buy above the 23rd's high. Key support still is 411.25 area. Let's peek back at, we'll have to go over some other stuff at the end of today for ISUP. All right, little breakdown today, right now. If this level holds, watch for a potential mini double. If we don't push much below 41.54, you got a mini potential double, which would only trigger on a short-term closing basis above 41.62. So we'll start tipping that intraday bullish on that. If we break down, keep pushing lower into the open, 41.50 is next, and that doubles off now. Got some pressure coming in on, I'm going to have to flip off here, but my 41.50 is the next level that I'm watching for. Let's see this. Yep. You can still, I'm going to bump this level down. We'll get to that short-term bullish now above 41.61. Other than that, we might be doing a little stop hunting today. Dollar Tree. Oh, the one Dollar General was that I'm keeping an eye on longer term, because if we close below here, 239.32, we trigger a double. I'm watching for the pullback there. So that's what I'm keying off of. All right, everyone. Let's let's get into these after the close today. Some of these other things. All right. We'll take a look at some of these other stocks after the close. See, we're gonna get that stock. We're gonna start getting some stop hunting right here. I got to take a look at my trading dome, so I will chat with everyone later. Thank you for sticking with us, and I'll talk to everyone in a bit. Bye for now.